In the heart of Ghana's central region, a bold vision is rising, one that blends heritage, innovation, and opportunity. Welcome to the Gomoa Central Special Economic Zone. Spread across 21,000 acres of state-vested land, the GCSEZ is more than a project. It's a transformation, a 24-hour business district, a green industrial hub, an ecotourism destination, a digital frontier, anchored by 5 pillars: eco-recreational park, organic farming zones, 24-hour business district, eco-industrial hub, and a renewable energy-powered crypto mining hub. The GCSEZ aligns with the President's Big Push agenda and the 24-hour economy initiative. Here, work doesn't stop at sunset. With extended shifts, round-the-clock operations, and a tech hub for digital currency mining, the zone powers Ghana's 24-hour economy. As a special purpose vehicle for AFCFTA, the GCSEZ connects Ghana to a 3.4 trillion market. 70% of its produce will reach African and Caribbean shores, boosting exports by 1.2 billion annually and helping close Ghana's 1.8 billion trade deficit. This is legacy land vested by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and now it's being reimagined to fulfill his unfinished dream, a Ghana that leads in trade, tourism, and transformation. The Gomoa Central Special Economic Zone, where vision meets action.
A+. We need such people to be with us. Let me thank all the organizers of this ceremony. I have achieved something already. I haven't met some of my good friends for a long time, and here I discovered some of them, and I'm sure they will reconnect. As for my senior brother, Guzitano, he's been advising for quite a long time. Even during the lifetime of his father, he was advising people, and he's still advising us. We are grateful you are part of this whole vision. I am a part of this vision, and I'll do all I can to support A+, to make sure we become once again the Mecca of the black race. I'm a farmer's child, and many of you struggle to pronounce my name. For the last time, I will tell you my name. This name, as you know, all names are given. You don't choose them. So all the names I have, 4 of them, were all given to me. Alban was given to me as a Christian name. Many of you think I'm a Muslim. So-ma-na, not Sumani, not Sumanu. So-ma-na. Kingsford, Bagbin. Those are my 4 names. I've been with you for a long time. But because I'm a farmer's child, you still struggle to pronounce my name. When I was called to the bar here in '82, I had a farm in the same jewel that you are now uncovering today. And so weekends, I used to drive all the way to the farm. And fortunately, I was dealing in cassava, yam, maize, and we couldn't even get market. And so finally, I stopped. But it's good to have all of you around, particularly being led by our illustrious revered chiefs and queen mothers. I see that the queen mothers are not many today. And my advice is that the poster you took here, don't use it. Please, you have to take one again and have to see the gender parity here. What I saw was only one lady, and the lady joined at the last minute. It was only gentlemen. And mud alone can never build a house. You need the water there. So please include our women in the picture that you are going to use as part of the branding of this whole vision. I must say that the dreamer, A+, is as exciting as this whole dream. Years ago, as a young man, I heard of him in the music arena, and it was a sparkle. He achieved a lot within a very short time. And then I didn't hear much of him again until I heard that he was going to contest election at Gomoa Central. Not on the ticket of any political party, independent. And we are practicing multi-party democracy. Well, it's part of the game. We allow independent candidates in multi-party democracy. And then he won and came to the House, and still being one of the sparks of our parliament. He's a few, and in fact, among the independent, he is closer to me than the rest. And he comes to discuss things with me, always prepared to learn, and I appreciate that a lot. So it's not only in music, but also in politics. He's showing that he is a special jewel given to us in Ghana. And I'm happy that Ghana is being once again reborn. One of the challenges we have in this country is that we want to kill every person that wants to take us forward and go through our history. You will see it. But as human, God did not create us to compete with each other. Each of us has something unique that nobody else has. That's why the other countries left us behind. Lee Kuan Yew came here twice to learn from Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Singapore, you are citing. He learned it from here. The whole Africa is not just after independence. Dr. Kwejiri Agri led the gospel of education in the whole of Africa. What happened? The lone star that you see, who is the lone star, lone black star? Anthony William Amo, the first black professor in Europe, 1734. Where is he from? Kwame Nkrumah came, well-bred. Yes, there were others before he came. But he had a big dream, a big vision. And he had the passion, the commitment, the love to implement it. And he started it. Why did they start in Central Region? There's a jewel there that we have covered, with this vision that is being uncovered. Many of these things you are saying I believe is unknown to the young ones. This is the first time they are hearing it, that such a land was acquired, that there was that much industrialization even during that time. This is the first time they are hearing it. And I want to call on the youth in particular, please go back to the books, read. You don't need to read from the hard cover ones, even using your IT, you can read. There's a lot of things that are hidden from us. Say, Sam Jonah, has he left? He is left. Another jewel, and what happened? I pray and I beg you, please save this young man for our country. He mentioned this matter to me just a few weeks ago. I managed to bring the traditional leaders to my office, and we had a chat just to officially invite me to this program. So it's one of the reasons why I had to leave an international conference in Geneva to come down, because I promised that I'll be here. It's not just to open the Parliament of Ghana. The Parliament of Ghana is already highly respected globally. Ghanaians don't know it, but it's highly respected globally. And anywhere we go and you stand up and you mention that you are a member of the Parliament of Ghana, people don't contest you. They withdraw and give it to you. That is how I want to be the chair of the African Geopolitical Group of the Interparliamentary Union, which is the World Parliament now. So this is one of the historic occasions that we should all take advantage of. And I'm happy that we have our good PR personnel here and visionary people who have excelled in various areas of our development. In fact, I heard Kofi Aban is around. Yes, we did a few things together, and he left me behind. So you have the men and the women available to anchor you to succeed. And as I said, surely you can rely on me. Because this is a project, and as we said, it's beyond a project. It's a vision that is meant to rekindle the flame of our first Prime Minister, our first President, Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. It was a dream that he had, a dream of what? Freedom and justice, of industrialization, not only for Ghana, but for the whole of Africa. Today, we are all globally fighting for one thing: clean energy. He foresaw it long ago and started the Atomic Energy Commission. And some people misunderstood it and said so many things, and now we are struggling to also reset it. Please, this dream is a great dream. A dream to set an industrial blueprint, not just for Ghana, but for Africa. And I believe that is our liberation. And our partners, I believe from China, from any other country, is welcome to invest in this dream. Don't forget that when you go to the developed countries, it's not just the indigenes, the citizens of that country that has developed the country. No, it's the diversity of citizens from all other countries who have a passion and flair in investing in places that will benefit generations yet unborn. The investors mainly do not enjoy anything at all. It's usually for the future. The only thing they do is to struggle not to sleep and to be thinking and to be working hard. And Kwame Nkrumah signaled this to us when he declared Ghana as a free nation. So please, I don't like referring to Ghana as the gateway. We are not just a gateway that people pass through. That is why our brothers and sisters in Nigeria say, we are the gateway and they are the destiny. No, we are also the destiny. We want the investment to be here and to make sure that we create the necessary employment for our people. Africa must be self-reliant. We have what it takes to do whatever we want in this world. It's not for nothing that God decided that Ghana should be the center of the world. It's not for nothing that where we are talking about is also called the center of Ghana, central region. Even though many of you overlook these things, I don't. Please, Nkrumah did all he could to lay a solid foundation. We had the Tema Industrial City. We had the Akosombo Dam. We had the state farms and poultry complexes. We had the Ghana Industrial Holding Corporation, GIHOC. And we had the Kwame Nkrumah Ajolika Institute. The most important thing to development is the human resource. That human resource needs to be disciplined, to be honest, to be truthful, to be hardworking, and to be focused. You have to build on a solid foundation. And those are the values, the principles and norms of the society. And this is what Nkrumah started. I was a young pioneer, and I learned so many things at that very early age. These days, it's gone agog. We don't know where it is. And so we need to go back to do that. We need, even in our parties, to try and get the following, to understand what we stand for, to understand the uniqueness of our country and our people, and to know that we came from different areas and met here to form the nation called Ghana. I was told some time ago that two families, Ribeiro's family and John Mensah's family, Saba family, were fighting over who was first to be called to the bar. The Ribeiro's family, as you know, is half Ghanaian. The background of that family, and one of their great-grandchildren is in Parliament called Richard Hagan. That's one of them. The background can be traced to Portuguese, through Brazil, and to Ghana. So they were the first. His son, Ribeiro, was the first to be called to the bar in 1883. John Mensah Saba came in 1887. But he was full-blooded Ghanaian. That's the only difference. So these are not things that we have to split hair over. I think we need everybody to work with to develop this nation. No individual, no party, no region can develop it alone. And I'm happy that this vision is built into the government blueprint of the 24-hour economy. That, you recall, is not also coming from nowhere. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is the son of Edward A. Mahama, who was a minister in the Kwame Nkrumah's regime. And so he grew up from that. Those of you who haven't read his book, My First Coup d'etat, please try and read it. You get the genesis of the vision of this young man. And here we are, he has started trying to let us reset go back to the greatness of our country. And happily, our young man A+, and the A+ means Asare plus. So we're going back to the history, we're going back to our destiny. We're destined to be a great nation. No wonder our own son is a global icon. The late His Excellency Kofi Annan. If you go to many countries now and just mention that you are a Ghanaian, that alone opens doors for you because of that great son of ours. I think we need to wake up from our slumber and do so many things to rebuild this country. Within the next 10 years, we should go beyond what his dream is talking about. And with these gentlemen and ladies behind you, I assure you that you will succeed. As the Speaker of Ghana's Parliament, I reaffirm the Parliament's unwavering commitment to create and uphold laws that promote industrialization, protect investments, and ensure equitable participation of all Ghanaians. We shall continue in our business to strengthen the Free Zones Act to make Ghana more competitive in global trade. So far, so excellent. The economy is applauded everywhere. We have to do our bit to sustain this achievement. We in Parliament will support legislation for green and digital industrial transformation. And Kofi Aban is there to support us in that direction. We are also going to ensure that we promote local content and ownership. And I like the vision, how it's bringing in the local content and how it's opening up for investment to everybody. The biggest challenge we have in Ghana is land. And you cannot develop without land. And many investors have come to this country and left because they buy litigation and struggle over years just to go over that first hurdle. And so what has happened now is very clear that that single drawback to development has been completely removed. And so please, it's another innovation that we have to applaud. I don't believe that industrialization is an elite project. It must be a people's revolution. And I'm happy the young man is leading the revolution. All of you seated here, I don't want to be part of that story he gave us. I'm not going to die now. I will see everything before I go. And when I go, I'll tell my great-grandfather, who actually grew up in Cape Coast. Their house was behind the current Paramount Chief's house in Cape Coast. And that time, you know, the first millionaire in Ghana came from Cape Coast. Jacob Say. That's the first millionaire in Ghana, then Gold Coast. Jacob Say. That is where my great-grandfather came from. But he was not an indigene of Cape Coast. He came from a holy village called Sombo, so he went back there. So with what we have acquired as a country, as a people, from our illustrious chiefs from Gomoa Central, I believe this, as we've been told, is not just going to be an industrial park. It is going to be a vision reborn, a vision that our founding father started because he saw a jewel that was covered in that area. 1982, as a young lawyer, I decided in the 30 days of the revolution to enter into public service. And I was a personnel manager. So I was a personnel manager of this hotel, then called Ambassador Hotel. And from there, I worked at Continental Hotel, City Hotel, Atlantic Hotel. I worked at all those places before I took Pespedes abroad for some years. Pespedes using my feet. Because that time, Ghana was called Ojakrum. Many of you don't know why it was called Ojakrum. You didn't live in that period because some of our elites, our academics, are not truthful. So most of the history that you read, please go beyond what you see in the books. They are too partisan and they don't tell you the gospel truth. I have taken my time to go through this. So what you have done is to break the mold, the orthodoxy, and to bring fresh air into the development of our country. So I believe that the manufacturing plants that you're talking about, that will produce goods for export, the renewable energy facilities that will power not only Ghana, but Africa's future, the agro-processing industries, transforming our farms into wealth, residential and commercial zones creating modern communities, and centers of innovation where the youth will design the next Africa into a miracle of the world. As you all know, we say the future of the world is in where? In Africa. This is what we can do to make sure that when the future of the world is in Africa, it's owned by Africans. The future can be in Africa, but other people will come and own it, and you have nothing. And so such initiatives must be supported by all. And our founding father, Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, did not only say it, he also acted it. And that vision was not completed because of history. I believe that with what is happening now, all of us will come on board to make sure that this independence of Ghana, that he said was meaningless unless it's linked up with the total liberation of Africa, becomes that industrialization of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked up to the engine of development of the whole African continent. Our good friends and brothers who have subscribed and committed themselves to the GCSMZ must therefore serve as a continental model. Please, this will be a hub, as we've been told, that is going to connect after with markets, and that will foster intra-African trade and demonstrate that the Africans can design, that we can finance, and that we can build our own destiny. Let Gomoa be to Africa what Dubai is to the Middle East. Dubai, you all know, was an empty desert. As usual, kill him. In my area, we had another young man who had a great vision, and he's built. Those who have been to Jirapa will see what he invested in it. Huge investment. And he brought people from all over the world to work there. Majority of the workers were, at least those front desks and others, were from here, Greater Accra. What happened? He was killed. The Almighty God will protect him. I don't know where we got that envy from. I just cannot tell. That is why I started by saying, what God has given to you, nobody else has it. We are all unique in our own ways. What is our worldview? The Chinese have theirs, and they work, and they succeed, and they say their system works. If you go to Europe, they have their worldview, and they work, it succeeds. Rat race America, they have their worldview. Africa, what is ours? And so you see great men and women, when they are no more, that is the end of their investments. In this country, I was one of the lawyers for the late Sion, and we did cases for him. I didn't meet him alive. I only met his estate. But my senior was working with him. After him, what happened to Tata Brewery and the rest? Boachi Mattress. Yes, some of his children are here. I think since his departure, they are still fighting over his property. The cases are still in court. I know what I'm talking about. We must reset our minds. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah told us all this. In fact, as Speaker, my heart bleeds when I preside over the House, just to see people still following the differences in the upbringing and education of two people, Dr. J.B. Dankwa and Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Just the differences between them. One comes from Axim in Zima, struggling through his Christian education, running to Accra, working with Achimota College, towing away to America, struggling through the Manhattan Project, working with the freedom fighters, building up himself to be one of the great organizers of the Manchester Conference, studying theology in 2 universities. He amassed all this, went to the UK, worked there, occupied the same positions, and came home. Before he even left Ghana, J.B. Dankwa, from another different background, coming through and getting scholarship to go and study in the UK. That society is different from that of America. Definitely, you have that difference. There's nothing you can do about it. As a farmer's child, I cannot behave and speak like a linguist child. It's not possible. And so none of you can contest the English of Kwajiri Agri, because that was a linguist child, the linguist of King Amamo IV. That was it. And so he spoke English, and even South Africans said, damn his color, this is an angel. So you are bound to have that difference. Why should we be enslaved by the differences between Dr. J.B. Dankwa and Dr. Kwame Nkrumah up to date? I don't get it. And people who are educated, I'm happy that you are here. Krobo Eduse Jr. You know the history. We are still fighting over that, and we can't develop our nation. Let's break that jinx. And these are some of the initiatives that will let us break that jinx. We are one and the same people.
In the heart of Ghana's central region, a bold vision is rising, one that blends heritage, innovation, and opportunity. Welcome to the Gomoa Central Special Economic Zone. Spread across 21,000 acres of state-vested land, the GCSEZ is more than a project. It's a transformation, a 24-hour business district, a green industrial hub, an ecotourism destination, a digital frontier. Anchored by 5 pillars: eco-recreational park, organic farming zones, 24-hour business district, eco-industrial hub, and a renewable energy-powered crypto mining hub. The GCSEZ aligns with the President's Big Push agenda and the 24-hour economy initiative. Here, work doesn't stop at sunset. With extended shifts, round-the-clock operations, and a tech hub for digital currency mining, the zone powers Ghana's 24-hour economy. As a special purpose vehicle for AFCFTA, the GCSEZ connects Ghana to a 3.4 trillion market. 70% of its produce will reach African and Caribbean shores, boosting exports by 1.2 billion annually and helping close Ghana's 1.8 billion trade deficit. This is legacy land vested by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and now it's being reimagined to fulfill his unfinished dream, a Ghana that leads in trade, tourism, and transformation. The Gomoa Central Special Economic Zone, where vision meets action, where Ghana meets the world.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is what Gomoa Central will be looking like in 10 years, only if you invest. So please tell a friend to tell a friend.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and click on the bell for more updates.